Hey everyone, and welcome to another Rope for a Key video. I'm Ad, and this is another video in the Road to a Clearance series. And if you remember, this is a series where I try to make a clearance using my open table routine in as few misses as possible, whilst along the way trying to get a high break. Now, the high break thing is a little bit weird because I've also committed to trying to get 50 break in this routine, which I'm doing in a separate series. I haven't posted a video of that yet. So this one was done as part of that series, but it was my last attempt of the session, and I thought, well, it wasn't the last attempt of my session, but I was getting towards the end of the session, and I thought to myself, the next time I get a reasonably good start to this routine with a reasonably high break from the start off, I'll try and do a clearance attempt in as few misses as possible. But you'll have seen from the thumbnail that it goes wrong, and it goes wrong before I even start. But I didn't notice until basically halfway through the edit. I kind of noticed in the time. Well, I knew something something weird happened in the room, and I couldn't figure out my break score because the number of reds didn't seem to mix up. I was basically using my phone to keep score, and the number of reds left on the table didn't match the number of reds left on the table on the app. I didn't realise at the time. I thought I just forgot to put it in the app. But you'll see from the very beginning, I actually forget to put a red on the table. The red by the green, there should be just one red on the balk line to the right of the green as we look through the camera, and I forget to put it on the table. So this attempt is null and void from the outset, but I wanted to show it because it was a really good attempt apart from that, and I got a pretty good break, and I played some pretty nice shots. Plus, I'd already halfway edited this bloody video, if I'm honest, so I wanted to show it. Anyway, let's take a look and hand over to me on the commentary, which I better go and record. Yeah, I've come and recorded my voiceover, and in the half an hour it's taken me to set that up, I seem to have developed a cold, so I'm sorry about my voice. It seems to be slowly deserting me. But yeah, as you can see, the red next to the green is not there, let's say. I obviously potted it in the last attempt at this, and I forgot to put it back on the table. So yeah, this particular attempt is null and void, but I wanted to show you anyway because it's pretty good. Now, I always seem to start this routine trying to get rid of these 4 reds around the blue, which means that I basically play a lot of shots without a huge score because obviously the blue's not as high as the pink or the black, but I find this a fairly easy way to start. I can pretty much consistently get these 4 reds and blues probably 1 in 3 times without a mistake, really. So it means that I'm in a good place to then start looking at getting around the pink or the black, or even the bottle colours if I'm desperate. So you can see from the scoreboard that my previous best break on this routine is 33, and that was when I last did this Road to a Clearance routine. And then on that attempt I managed to clear the table with 13 misses. Now, I don't think it's going to be a spoiler to say that I beat the 13 misses, but the problem is that last red, or that missing red, means that this one is void, so I can't really count it. I mean, I could argue that I beat it by enough to think that probably wouldn't have caused that many more misses to be able to still beat it, but hey, I don't want to break any rules. I don't want to break any of my own rules anyway, so anyway, I'm up to 25 on this break already, having got the 4 reds and blues. I'm now on the balk colours. I hadn't actually spotted at this point that the red was missing. Pretty happy with the shot on the brown though. Nicely back out for the red in the same pocket. So I'm using my phone to keep score, you can probably tell. Nice screw back shot for green or yellow. Gone too far for the green, so just the yellow, but it's a bit of a stretch for me, for little old me. Emphasis on the old. Yeah, similar shot on the yellow. Now I've got a reasonable angle on this red to get the cue ball. So this is where I start to realise something's gone wrong, because I start looking at the table and counting the reds left, and the app tells me how many reds there should be left. And I think, well, I must have just forgot to put it in the app. But so I start getting excited because I think that my break is higher than it is. Anyway, I messed that up. It's a shame because I get good position on the blue. I think the distraction of having the reds wrong and not really working out what's going on maybe got in my head, and yeah. And then also realised the battery was going out on my camera, so I decided to so the battery went on my camera. So you missed one shot and you missed one miss. So I managed to get that red that was going off for up the cushion, and then I immediately went for the brown in the right hand middle pocket, but I missed the brown and it came to rest down by the black, as you see now. So that's another miss. So I'm up to 2 misses now. Not that it matters because obviously this is null and void. But yeah, break, a pretty high break. Didn't beat my best. Was close to it with that red, but yeah, just didn't quite get that right. But there's a couple of good shots coming up. Well, I think they're good shots anyway. This is one of them. Nicely off the cushion for the red above the pink. I tend to, what I do is, if I do miss, I forgot to say actually, in case you didn't see the first video, the rule is on this video, this routine is, if I miss, I can move the cue ball for my first shot, my next shot, sorry. So what I tend to do is, if I do miss on a colour and put the colour off the spot, I then try and get that colour in the pocket next time round, so that I keep the table tidy, which means the clearance is going to be easier. Because obviously, if you're a regular on the channel, you'll know that I'm used to doing colours clearances off the spots. So I try and keep the colours on the spots as best I can to give me the best chance of being able to clear them in one go when I get there. That is the exception of something like the pink where it is now. That's not too far from its spot, so I wouldn't be too fussed about that. So these are the 2 trickiest reds on the table. Well, trickiest reds on the table as the table is set up. Obviously, one of the reds has moved. Didn't quite get that right. It's a shame. Sorry to interrupt halfway through this, but I just want to come in and say, if you like what you're watching, feel free to go ahead and like the video. If you're not already a subscriber to the channel and you like this kind of video, why not consider subscribing to my channel? It doesn't cost you anything, and you'll get notified and you'll get to see my latest videos as soon as they come up. I'm currently on a 3 per week schedule, so there's plenty to watch. Anyway, back to this attempt. Well, that was a rather rude interruption, wasn't it? But that guy seems to know what he's talking about. So do like the video if you like what you see, and subscribe to the channel if you're new to vote for Q. So tricky one along the cushion here, but I wanted to get rid of it. Just about play it enough. I'd actually get out quite nicely for the black, to be fair. Not sure where the next red's coming from. I think I'm going to try and top spin, because I'm slightly high on the black, so top spin off the cushion and try and get back round for that red near the pink, but not quite. Not got the cue power yet for that. So this one, in this kind of situation, when you're going for the clearance, you're going for the pot, but you're hitting it dead weight, so you hope that if you don't get it in, you leave it. But actually, that is one of those good shots I was talking about, where I played a pretty nice pot in quite a tricky situation. Managed to get up to the bottom cushion though, so the colours are slightly different. I mean, I am going for the pot here, but there is an argument to say actually you're better off just trying to not play the pot and get on the next red. But then when you can move the cue ball, it kind of doesn't make any difference, does it? So might as well go for the pot and keep the run going. happy with that. Could have done with rolling a little bit further for this pink, but actually it's not a bad angle to cut this pink in and run up to the bottom cushion for the red, like so, if only the pink had gone in. So, this last red, well, the last of the 14 reds, I'm such an idiot. Yeah, that's a nicely out for the brown. Although I think about going for the yellow here, but then I think actually, what's the point of going for the yellow? Because I can play the brown and get position on the yellow. Whereas getting position, potting that yellow and getting position on another yellow from the spot would have been difficult. So now I've got, I'm slightly low on this yellow, so I can cut it in and get out, go sort of off the right hand of the green, just like that. Could have done with a bit more left hand side on it though, just to bring the cue ball a little bit higher up the table. But this is doable and should be naturally back out for the brown. But didn't hit it hard enough and also wasn't accurate enough. So another go at the green, having moved the cue ball. Can I get off the cushion and out for the brown? Yeah, played that quite nicely. Just a bit, just about the right angle for the, well, just about straight on this brown. So playing a screw shot down to the blue, and I'm very happy with that one. Don't often get that control kind of right. Oh, the light's gone out, so I have to put another 20p in the meter. Yeah, blue's in nicely. Played a fairly clever positional shot actually there to get back across to the middle, but right tucked under this cushion, which makes it a little bit tricky. Could have just done with a bounce, maybe a couple of inches off the cushion. Makes that a little bit tricky. I wasn't far off it, but it just kind of bounced the wrong way. And yeah, it's now a little bit of a thin, not thin, but a tight pot into this middle pocket, which these middle pockets aren't actually that generous from angles like that. And as I missed it, but thankfully it's gone into a very potable position, and all I have to do is hold for the black. More about holding for the black in a minute. But I miss it. In my rush to get that done, I miss it. So I'm now up to 10 misses, which is a shame. But still well below my previous best. But obviously it doesn't count because the red was missing. But play that pink nicely and get very nicely on the black. Couldn't have played that positional shot better even if I wanted to. So just this black then for the clearance. The clearance less one red, which is a shame. Never mind, I'll try it again soon. Yeah, so that's it for this video. As you see, it was a pretty good attempt. I'm really gutted that I forgot to put that ray on. I probably think it might have added 1 or 2 more misses to the total. Still think it would have been a new high score, but I am voiding this attempt. But I will try it. Essentially, I'm doing the open table routine a lot, trying to get a 50 break, and I am doing basically at the end of each attempt, or the end of each session, I'm doing an attempt at the clearance. So hopefully you'll see a couple more of these. And look out for the first in the series of me trying to get a 50 break in this routine, where I'm going to show you basically the best attempts of each session throughout the week. So there'll be one video a week with 4 or 5 attempts in it. Anyway, if you like this kind of video and watching me do practice routines, check out this video, which is another practice routine I'm working on at the moment, which is where I try and do long reds, increasingly long reds, and hold for the black in the corner pocket. See how I get on in this video, which is the current best attempt I've got.